after 10 days which one really looks used. The makers of the all-new
Don't forget to take your cash from the cash dispensers.
Time is looking over his shoulder and talking trash about tomorrow. Like steam, Carthage feels he is evaporating. He keeps a diary to hold his importance in place. He is building a little monument. The problem is he doesn't know what to say. He could write about what he had for breakfast. He had an extra waffle with that good artificial syrup on it. He has to confess that seems trivial. Everyone eats waffles. He's given orders to invade a few countries. That's not something everyone has done. It doesn't feel like much, though. You're excited for a few days and then you're back to thinking about waffles. He can't walk in and start talking waffles to the generals and admirals. They want to talk about battlefields. Death is taking supersized bites out of time. Tall monuments have been blown up. Carthage sighs. He can erase everything. Every other week, Carthage has some buddies, Al, Joe, Brownie, and Jim, over for a game of poker. Don't stay up, he tells the First Lady. Not that they would have sex anyway. For years, she has kept her desires to herself. Maybe they drowned and will wash up on the shores of history decades from now. Long after her death, small, defiant cries will be heard, echoing in a dark archive. Now there are potato chips, beer, and playing cards with naughty ladies on their backs. Wouldn't I like to have a piece of that, Al says. The guys have jokes to tell. Brownie is laughing so hard Budweiser is shooting out his nose. Carthage's wife wakes to their chortling din. She thinks about appearing in her nightgown, leaving a few buttons open, eyeing them calmly. She knows they would sober up instantly. Evening, ma'am. They would bleat like Boy Scouts. She pulls the covers over her head. She tries to burrow into a small dream, a small house in a small town where she could live quietly. Carthage puts his cards face up. Straight flush, he hollers. The others holler too. Nothing feels this good. Each day, Carthage sees his advisors. They know more than he does, but are polite about it. They smile handsomely. Their voices are intelligent honey. Carthage gets sick of it. He can make audiences of patriots and rich Christians go crazy, but he gets tired of listening like some kind of educated monkey. He wishes one of them would shoot from the hip. Look, Carthage, you don't know shit about this. And if you don't care to know anything, just sign on the line and save us the time. As it is, he has to consider options, nod his head like a weary bear, periodically thrust his body forward and plant his elbows on his desk to show he is engaged and forceful. His young male advisors have nicknames like Chip. Even the black one from Georgia Tech answers to something like that, Rip, or maybe Kip. The women, he's noticed, tend to be a little flat-chested, probably from being so brainy. Here they all are talking to someone who barely passed Intro to Western Civ. Well, he liked the course, actually, but he had a heavy girlfriend that semester. Dawn something or other. When they fucked, she flung her arms all over the place. A couple of times she bopped him on the chin. He kind of liked it. Occasionally, to keep them honest, he brings up what seems to him an opposite figure. Is this guy some kind of Hitler? I don't think Patton would have backed down. Lincoln used to think long and hard before he spoke. His advisors look at him with a blend of interest and misgiving, as if he were a horse that had bolted from a paddock. His point about whatever personage he's cited dwindles. Everyone waits. Carthage furrows his brow like a third-rate actor to show that he can deliberate. Is that clear? He inquires. Everyone scurries and chirps brightly, as if history were alive. Citizens write letters to Carthage. Mostly they want a smiling, signed photograph. A husband or wife may leave. The IRS may be auditing them. The car may be broke. But the president is there, smiling. Now and then, Carthage likes to stroll among the eager interns, filling envelopes. He's not a Catholic, but he feels like the Pope. The way they want him to put a hand on their shoulder and say a word to them. He stops at one desk where a young woman is reading a letter someone has written by hand. It's blue ballpoint and looks hasty. It's not really a letter, just one line. What do you do with the dead children? Someone has written asking him that. What do you do with the dead children? Carthage shakes his head. There are going to be people who don't understand what war is. People who are weak and confused. People who think the world should be perfect. The young woman looks up tentatively at Carthage. Here, he says, let me personally sign that photograph. She nods thankfully. Carthage writes his name over the signature that already is embossed on his picture. He has to admit, he looks pretty good in that picture. The interns are all watching him. The young woman's lips are pursed as if she is going to start crying from gratitude. Carthage smiles easily and waves a hand for the camera that never grieves. It shouldn't have happened, but it did. One day on the radio, Carthage heard a British voice that an American barely could understand, talking about a place called Carthage. It was destroyed, not once but twice, first by Romans and then by Arabs. Carthage looked out the car window as if the trees and houses might console him. Quickly he flipped the dial. The turtles were singing happy together. That was better. But Carthage wondered why he was named for a destroyed city. How could he be descended from something that had been destroyed? Why had Carthage made so much trouble for itself? He had to pull the car off the interstate and take some deep breaths. A voice told him he should turn the radio on and find out what happened next. Another voice told him probably there was a city there now, with shopping malls and parking lots. That was how things worked. Everything came back. It didn't matter what you did, because everything came back. Carthage turned the ignition key and began drumming his index fingers on the dashboard. "So happy together," he sang. He felt mystical and free, or maybe forgetful. Before they were destroyed, what songs had the people of Carthage sung? They must have been happy. They must have.